is a Cosmic Octave original podcast.
Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm
Oh,
married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
So Tyler,
Why do we tell jokes right before that?
I know.
Okay.
I try and catch it, and where you say something really offensive.
No, I
Because
don't
let me tell
say
you, folks,
offensive
off
stuff.
the air.
No,
he's not. He's a.
No, I'm just a.
He's
I'm
the same.
just a,
He's the same. Literally, this guy that you are hearing on the podcast
Yeah.
every week is the guy that I know.
I'm really foul mouthed, is what the deal is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking gross.
Yeah. Not. I don't use like slurs. I just
It's almost a race to say who could say the F word first.
Well, fuck. I win.
Also,
Did I win?
I love the fact that that is James Gunn's legacy in the MCU. Is he got the first F-bomb. Open the fucking door. What a classic.
What a classy
What
guy.
a classy guy. Jake Williams here.
Tyler Allen here.
He's over there, and this is off panel, off
topic.
number 95.
Number 95.
All right, you don't need to repeat everything I say.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're
All right.
welcome. Mhm.
No.
Yep.
Up,
Up.
up,
Up.
Hey,
But you would.
who's on first? So we got a jam-packed show today. We've got.
Did you ever see the Kids in the Hall sketch where this guy is trying to do Who's on First and the straight man is just terrible? And he's like, I don't know. And he's like, oh, I see your
Also-
confusion. The last name of the player who plays third base is Phil Idenno, but it's spelled Idunno. But it sounds like I don't know, like I don't know. So that's your confusion. And the guy's just like, who's on first? Like, coming to kill you. You ruined the act.
Yeah,
That was Kevin McDonald.
that would have been real fun to
It's
experience.
really, really funny, actually.
And you kind of.
Oh, I see your confusion. His name is Phil.
Okay, you got it. We got it. This is not the kids.
Did you
What is
wanted
it?
to start
What
off
is
the
this,
show?
The Kids in the Hall show.
You wanted to start off the
This is
show.
the recap show.
You wanted to start off the show.
Yeah, I did.
I'm prodding you.
I'm poking you, pal. What a weird.
What
start.
do you? What is that when you're like?
Time out. This is what worries me about our chemistry.
Oh.
Because there's nothing here right now. We're
No, what-
95 episodes in. What are you doing?
No, like when you're is it called leading? When you're like on the air with somebody and you're trying to get them
You're driving.
Oh, okay. So I'm trying to.
I'm
get
always
you,
driving.
I'm trying to hand
and
you
I will
the wheel.
turn this fucking car around and start the show over.
This podcast is over.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, no, I was saying because the last week or so, around that time, I bought Hogwarts Legacy for my wife on Mother's Day because she likes Harry Potter and all that stuff, and she has been playing it a lot. And I mean, like to the levels that I am when I play video games, and it's kind of fun and interesting to see it on the other side of like, oh, this is what it's like to be with me when I obsess, because like but then at the same time it's really cool because she was explaining some things and places that she has in the game, and I'm like, that's so cool to me that she is, enjoying this game like I do, and it's like she gets giddy about it like I do. It's fun to see people take enjoyment in the same hobby that you do, even if it means not necessarily a franchise or a game that you necessarily play, because she's always like that stuff way more than me.
Right.
Yeah, so it's been interesting, but it's also been fun because I've also been playing video games. We've been this like, when you're in a relationship, it's that weird thing of like, I want to hang out with you, but I do also want to do my own thing. So I have the xCloud stuff, so I've been able to play like Fallout and stuff on my laptop.
Oh.
And then she can play the Hogwarts game. We can just hang out, So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. It's just a fun little story, and it's fun to see your partner really get excited about a hobby.
That actually totally reminds me of something exactly that happened to me today.
Really?
Which is back in the day there was this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cereal, and basically what it was.
Oh yeah, this is totally related.
Basically what it was Chex with marshmallows. And the marshmallows were like, their heads, and then like, or a katana, or whatever. And then the Chex was Ninja Nets. Okay. And that was it. And I don't know if
I feel like you have talked about this cereal.
That's what I'm
before.
saying. Yeah, but
What?
But you guys bought me
I'm sorry, I didn't
a
mean to be
thing
loud.
of Lucky Charms marshmallows for like Christmas or something, didn't you?
I don't remember that.
It was like the box of just marshmallows. You guys didn't you buy me that? Maybe my mom bought it for
I had
me.
the bag, I think, and I gave it to you.
So because of the advances in the marketplace,
Probably
now,
did get it from me,
all
though.
I got to do is buy a bag of Lucky Charms marshmallows and a box of fucking rice checks.
Just get
and
all
I got,
berries.
I got
Captain Crunch.
what?
You can just get all berries, Captain
Have
Crunch.
you ever had Have you ever had Chex with marshmallows? The flavor intensity is just ramped up.
So you're telling me you bought a bag of marshmallows and you're recreating
And a box
this
of
cereal?
Chex. Yes.
Have you done it?
Not yet.
Are you like eagerly waiting to do it after this show? Because this is going
Not
to be the longest
eagerly.
episode we're ever going to do.
Not eagerly. But I mean, it's just really interesting because I have actually gone out and bought like Lucky Treasures, you know, like the Walmart brand, and
I'm pretty sure it's Marshmallow Mateys.
and,
Thank you very
and
much.
by hand
No.
separated out the marshmallows
You
from the cereal, so I
lunatic.
could just have marshmallows, and then got a box
You
of
know
Chex.
what? I wish we would have lived together at some point because then, because I don't really like the marshmallows. So then you could have had all the marshmallows, and then I
Fuck!
could have had the other, the little anchor dudes.
Oh, fuck you. Yeah. So,
By the way, you would think Lucky Charms, it would be a lateral knockoff to do something leprechaun related.
yeah, but have you ever had
but
marshmallow
hey,
mateys? It's not the same.
Hey, shout out to Marshmallow Mateys, though, to go and pirate. They went pirate. They didn't have to. They said, we're going to take this treasure idea and we're going to apply it to pirates.
I'm disappointed nobody ever thought to make a dragon-related treasure cereal that was marshmallows and
A
whatnot.
Schmaug cereal.
No, not Smaug necessarily. Smaug.
Schmaug.
Smaug.
Schmaug
What
mellows.
are we
Dude, that's the cereal.
So that cereal is exactly what I
We'll
was
get-
thinking
we'll
about.
get-
When you were
we're-
telling me
I
your
wanna-
story about your wife, I was like, that
Yeah,
completely relates.
now that you kind of told the whole story,
Yeah.
it makes a lot more sense.
I know.
Like, I laugh at, like, how could I have not thought that these two things are connected? So anyway, let's get to our first topic of the night.
We're the worst actors ever.
It's gonna be a long
It's
one.
gonna be a
Well-
oh my God, are we talking about? Yes, we are.
We're talking about the new segment.
Turn it up.
Turn it up, turn it down, get it around. There we go. Yeah.
This is so funny.
Oh. All right. Oh, I didn't mean for it to stop
Turn it
like that.
down
It seemed
or
like
fade it
I
out.
thought I did. I
Bad
must have hit a
content.
button. I'm sorry.
It's fine. No, we don't need to hear
No,
it
it's
now.
not okay.
It
It's
is
not
okay.
okay.
It is okay.
It is okay that we don't have to listen.
I spent an entire 10 minutes of my life on that damn thing.
I don't know. You were doing it all.
Doing it
Crack
all
cocaine.
for the love of the game.
Why is it so slow today?
My phone, I just got a new
Thor's
phone,
weapon.
and it is the dumbest phone ever. Here's what the problem is, though, I think.
We got to get started on this, man.
We
We
will.
already played this out.
I understand.
We're in RoboCop
I
now.
understand. But when I took the SIM card out to put my SIM card in, which is basically how you switch phones, right?
Yeah.
The one that I took out of here had a big 5G on the SIM card that I took out.
Yeah.
And then I put my presumably 4G into my phone. So I'm thinking the reason why my phone is such an idiot
Oh, yeah.
is because my phone is a 5G phone with a 4G SIM card.
Don't get the 5G. That's how they
I
get
didn't
into
know
your
it was a
brain.
5G.
That's how the government gets in your brain, Tyler.
Well, we've discussed this before. We all carry around tracking devices constantly. So,
A literal supercomputer in your pocket.
I mean, so
Yeah.
the vaccines are
Speaking
obviously.
speaking of supercomputers, let's talk about the RoboCop. The
Let's do
pinnacle
this.
of cybernetics. So this week
Nice segue.
we thank you.
Well, I had to turn it around because you were talking about your goddamn phone, you son of a bitch.
Nobody cares about your phone.
Nobody cares about your phone. It's Tyler.
Wow.
'Kay.
Everything's a song.
I know.
This
I'm
week
sorry.
we were originally going to do Prime Directives, but we changed it up. And it was kind of my decision last minute. So if you did actually follow along and did homework on Prime Directives, I do
Sorry.
apologize.
Sorry.
But we decided to change it up and do RoboCop Alpha Commando, which is, believe it or not, the second RoboCop animated show because we knew about one that came
Can I
out
just
in
pull
the
it up
80s.
so we can play the theme song on?
No,
here?
I can put it in later because
It's really
I
bad.
want to kind of mix it in with RoboCopalooza because that is going to be the most.
It's close, isn't it?
RoboCop. Yeah,
RoboCop.
I mean, yeah. You know what?
Turning into a car.
You could
Now he's got roller
good
skates.
idea. Pull it up because I
Okay.
think you have it on your.
I do.
You were watching on your phone.
I was watching on my phone. Yep.
Yeah,
Zoom
well,
in
that's the
text.
thing too. It was easy. Prime Directives is on Amazon Prime, but it's also Alpha Commandos of like some guy a couple years ago. Like,
Some gay.
uploaded it to YouTube. The whole because there's like 40 episodes of this show, which is shocking. But it also isn't that shocking because when you watch this show, it feels like the people that wrote this show didn't know what RoboCop was or weren't intentionally writing a RoboCop show.
Yeah. Is that too loud?
Let's turn your mic down a little bit. Oh. There you go. That's good, though.
Oh, and the open is terrible.
Oh, my gosh. All the robots and shit. Well, it takes a while to get to the RoboCop part. It's like a build. It's a build. RoboCop. Palooza.
And then, okay, one thing that RoboCop is not.
They say that.
One, yeah,
that is another
that's-
reason
that's
I don't.
the theme song.
Tyler.
What?
Tyler. That is another reason I think that show was not made to be a RoboCop show because clearly that sounds like that was a different song, and then they were just like, just fucking throw RoboCop on top of some orchestral voices being like, RoboCop.
They spent about as much time on that theme song as I did on our sounder.
Literally, was you making this for the pod? Making that for the pod? Almost beat for beat, even the RoboCop parts. But
at no point is RoboCop going to stop a speeding train
here's a
like Hulk
Here's a confession.
or Spider-Man. Yeah.
Originally, we were going to do a different episode called RoboPop.
Oh.
And I had started watching that.
What's the name of the episode that we watched? Do you
Garden
know?
of Evil. And episode 21.
Oh. So towards the end of the season.
Episode 10 was the one originally I was going to do, but then Garden of Evil just had a better name to me, and I was like, I want to watch that. So I watched some of the episodes. I've seen a couple scenes of each episode, right? And I remember because I mistakenly thought that would be a good idea for me to watch it on my lunch break. Just have my headphones in. And there are parts where my coworkers overhear me because I go, "What?" like that really loud. Because I can't tell you because I think it'd ruin that episode if we ever do it sometime. But I can tell you this: there are parts of that episode I was like, "This isn't bad. This is interesting." And then RoboCop talks, and then I'm like, "Whoop!" Well, there it went. And anyway, so let's get into it. Yes, we are talking.
I'll say this:
episode 21, Garden of Evil.
when I was watching
Evil.
this episode, at many points during this episode, did I go, "What?"
Yeah. Well, and I told you I was excited.
How many different accessories did he have on his hands? He had a
dude,
umbrella come out of the top of
Dude.
his head at one point.
By the way, pizza time for
Oh yeah,
episode 21.
It's been out for 30.
Garden
yeah,
of Evil.
Nobody watches it.
This
anyway.
came out in like 97.
Yeah.
So
it's terrible.
It's so bad. So
There's like a superhuman villain. Like what the fuck?
No, that's the thing. That's the thing. In the other episode that I watched, he's fighting this giant bug thing, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
At one point, he just pulls out bug spray and sprays the bug, and I'm like, no way. And then we find out it was a kid daydreaming, so I kind of was like, oh, I guess it's not that crazy.
What about the part where they're...
But then this
Okay,
shit, it gets
yeah.
crazier. So here's some of my notes.
Okay.
First off, why is RoboCop in Louisiana? Because this is taking...
Yeah.
This whole episode takes place outside of Detroit, and it's in the swamps
Does
of
it
Louisiana.
say that they're in the swamps of Louisiana, or they just assume? Are you
To be fair, we are episode 21, so maybe at some point early. By the way, this show starts with a 3-part pilot episode, 3 parts. But I think that they might have explained in earlier episodes that they're a federal.
they're the Alpha Commandos.
Force now, because she mentions federal. They're a federal agency in this episode.
He has a partner named Miner.
So I'm imagining at some point, even to further remove this thing, to show even further that this was never supposed to be a RoboCop show, is the fact that we're not even in Detroit. We're going to Louisiana. We're going all over the place. So that's the first note I have. Like, what? Okay, we're just doing this
Yeah,
episode.
no swamps in Detroit.
There's some sort of situation where they're like, hey man, we got to send in the fucking mechanized cyber cop to deal with this.
In the swamp where he'll sink.
He steps on one little bit of moss. He's done.
Done. Just gone.
He's
Just gone.
Or how wet can
When the bulldozer comes at him.
how wet?
How is he not?
With all of his components? How wet can he get?
He gets wet during one episode. The villain fucking gets the sprinkler.
This episode.
And and it's like, you're a multi-billion-dollar piece of equipment, and you're getting fucked up by some water.
So yeah, this is like this character is like a mashup of the
Tick.
Well, it's like Poison Ivy, Swamp Thing. Somebody said it looked like another character that's in DC. The
Floronic Man.
Fragmented Man.
Floronic Man.
He looks like he looks
guy.
like a blend of those.
That guy
three.
scared the shit out of me when I was a little kid, man. Holy shit!
Doesn't he? He looks like a combination of those three.
Why did my parents buy me Swamp Thing comic books when I was little?
Because they didn't know they were horror.
I
books.
guess.
I'm assuming. But anyway,
Carter knew. God damn it!
And his name, by the way, is Marabu Mulch, literally named Mulch, which I thought was just superb. And this is what makes me laugh about this show.
His last name is Mulch, and he turns into a...
I truthfully say, and I'll probably say this when we watch the original animated series, I truthfully think if you had the same, and it's the same, you could say that about that other show we watched last week, if you still had the ultra violence and edge of that first RoboCop movie, you could make it work as an adult animation. You can absolutely, like, Adult Swim would eat that up, or would have at that time. You know, they would have easily taken that, because RoboCop is not something that works in a kids-friendly environment.
You can't. Like, there's one point where
especially in a cartoon.
He's like talking and everything, and everybody's gone.
Yeah.
And he's being, da 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 da, and then he just goes, "Where'd everybody go?" And it's just like that's so far off the reservation when it comes to RoboCop, man. He's not fun. He's still humorous, but like in a
not intentional. It's not intentional. It's not jokey, because the thing that is funny is is him playing it straight.
Yeah.
Because even before, and again, I love how all we're doing with this whole thing is just another reason for us to talk about the first RoboCop. That's the only reason we talk about these other shitty RoboCop properties.
Let's talk about...
No. But here's my point. I said it last week, and I'll say it again. It all really boils down to Weller's performance.
Yes.
And Weller understood to play Murphy. Even before Murphy turned into RoboCop, he's not funny. He's trying to be cool. He's trying to do the trick with his gun to be cool for his kid. Yeah, he's kind of a dork.
Do you not notice his interactions with Lewis and how he's just not real? He's awkward a little bit.
Yeah, he's
he's got a loving wife and a loving son.
He's not jokey, and in this show, he's super jokey.
Super jokey. Oh, never mind losing 90% of my body mass and just being in a shell now. And then, so there's this character named Minor, okay,
who's like the new...
I thought it was Minor, and I thought it meant that she was like, a minor. And so when they show her in a bikini at the end of the episode, I'm like, why the fuck is... Yeah. Just all of, like, okay, so she turns into, like, first of all, these pods start eating everybody, and... That's like you have a pod transform somebody into another person, and all you do is just color their face green.
Okay, so look,
give me some imagination. Anyway,
Tyler, this is very. Go ahead.
Sorry. So she turns into like a pod person because he's trying to get her to be his queen, whatever. Because he won't take the hot blonde. Whatever.
That whole thing. Oh my.
What's going on with that?
Oh my God. We'll get into that whole story.
What's her name?
Something I can't remember. I didn't write it down. I don't. Who cares about this?
Kudzu. Something Kudzu.
Like that.
Anyway.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So she her fingers or nails or whatever, I don't know, but they come out like tentacles and they come flying towards RoboCop, and he's got these...
Yeah, is she just shooting seeds at him? What is she doing?
No, before that. It's they look like they're extensions of her hands, right? And he just slices them off.
No.
Not caring.
The best part before all of that is as she's coming towards him, he goes, machetes. And then just fucking machetes come out where his hands would be.
But then, about 5 seconds later, she does the same thing and somehow wraps all of them around him and then causes him to have an electrical discharge.
I don't know.
And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about spooge.
But before that, he was making himself into a fucking airboat. So how is
right? Oh no! I loved how the blonde was like, "There's only one way you can get there by a swamp boat."
We'll get there. I got notes, and I want to kind of.
Why did you go through all of them at once?
Oh, because I
Just
wanted to
go
talk
through all
about
of them.
each point.
I went through all of mine.
Well, my other question, because
we'll talk as we go
I
through
want to
your
talk about
notes.
this love triangle
Good.
because I have a note. It says, "Does Marabou want to fuck Minor?" Like, because so
he wants her to be his queen.
Here's the funny thing about that. So RoboCop and Minor go into Suzu or Kazoo or whatever the fuck this blonde character's name is,
who's a great grad school dropout or something.
Yeah, she's got a little accent because we're in Louisiana. I'm cute. We're in the swamps. And so they're talking to her and everything.
I'm the sassy Southern
There's
Belle.
a flower in there, and it like flourishes at Minor. She goes, "Oh, it flourished for you. It never does that for me." So then they leave, and then she's like, first of all, the animation of this. So then the flower has a little face come out of it. Who is, by the way, Mulch, who we've already seen earlier in the episode. But, like, yeah, and then he grows out of it. But it's like, you fool. And, like, he taught, like, this show is so, like, carnival cartoon voice acted.
Definitely, the people who made this show have made kids shows before. They've made kids cartoons before.
This is like a throwback.
They were not going, we need to make RoboCop into a kids show. They were saying, we're making a kids show and it happens to be RoboCop.
We already made this
for
kids
decades.
show.
We know what the kids like.
But we don't think the property's strong enough. What do we have?
The villain should have a name or should
RoboCop.
have a voice like
People know what RoboCop is. We got a license. We'll throw it on there.
It's the villain. He's got to have a voice like Schneidly Whiplash.
Yeah, but the fucking then he just straight up abuses this woman and just calls her stupid multiple times. And then the end of their arc is her staying with him even though he turned into a horrifying looking tree.
Yes. and tossed her off so that he could have the other girl.
Who he wants to fuck this random woman they just met. Like the first woman that comes to the swamps, he's like, I need to fuck that. Immediately.
Yes.
And she goes back to him. So that's a little, that bothers me.
Oh, like, that's abusive.
What kind of messaging is that?
Over there.
Also, Marabou wants to make plant slaves. So he wants to make people into plants and then make them subservient to him.
Again, the first...
Well, it's just evil guy does evil things.
Right, but the main thing is, like, at the beginning of the episode, these pods swallow up Minor... And then they swallow up the three dark agents. What is it? The Department of Revenge and... What? Chaos?
It's like dark.
Dark.
Yeah, it's just called dark.
No, but it's an anagram.
It's
Department
like the 80s.
of...
Yeah, you're right. Something like that. Well, the fucking... when she gets swallowed up in this, like, sinkhole thing in the ground, this tornado sinkhole thing.
Yeah, let's use the trimmer. She might be in there.
Dude, this is where I know this was not a fucking RoboCop show. He's Go-Go Gadget RoboCop.
Yes.
The whole and this isn't the first time.
A lawnmower all of a sudden.
That's his whole fucking
his gimmick
thing.
That's
this whole show.
Yes.
But that's another thing that makes me laugh. Just like the show we watched last week, just like this one, probably even another animated show, maybe even Prime Directives.
It's never gonna end.
RoboCop is a better
forever.
No, listen, RoboCop is a better cop on the shows because he doesn't kill anybody and he actually arrests them. Where in the movies, he kills them all the time, which again proves the point that they don't know what the fuck RoboCop is because RoboCop is anti-police militarization, anti-over-policing, all this other stuff. And then this show is like, no, he's actually a really good cop.
Who happens to be a giant cybernetic humanoid.
Yes, but clearly this was a different character. And they want to do something like there's this robot character that changes parts, but then like we have this robot.
We have this license. Yeah.
And yeah, dude. Oh my god. Okay, I want to keep going with that because that scene where she gets swapped and goes, murder. It's like the loudest thing.
The first thing I think is that there's all this overgrowth that comes up above this thing of dirt that she gets swallowed into, and he doesn't know where she's at. But his first thought is, I'm going to turn my hands into lawnmowers and just through this underbrush, not knowing if she's in there, and I'm cutting her up as I try. You know what I mean?
Which, if this were an adult...
And then he makes a perfect crop circle in the fucking grass.
Miner!
No, but finally these guys and Miner all come out of these pods, and I'm expecting some serious shit. Because, what's his name? Mulch?
Well,
Mulch is a bad-looking dude, right?
Remember, before that, we had Holy Shit Robo Airboat.
That's fair, but I started a point a little bit ago. I want to finish it. If you're going to have somebody transform, right?
Yeah.
When they finally come out, they're the same animated characters with green colored skin.
Yeah, but it's easier to reuse the assets and just change the color.
Whatever.
I'm sure that's what was the reason for that.
So you're defending this piece of shit?
No, I'm just saying I guarantee you that's what they did for cost. But you're right, it's lazy. If you're gonna do it, go for it. But again, animation's hard. I'm not saying
animation's hard.
Well, no, it is.
It is.
I'm not saying I know how to do
it. It is.
But
no, me neither.
But it is kind of like you're building it up to be this thing, and you're just flipping an asset. Is all you're doing. But
the airboat. Let's talk.
That also was. I don't know if this was intentionally meant to be funny, but I fucking cackled when she comes out of the pod transformed, and he goes, "Miner, are you all right?" And she just goes, "Rah!" like that. I was like,
"That's all she does." Like the whole time.
I laughed.
They'll show a close-up of her face, and you think she's going to say something, and she goes, "Bleh."
If that was intentional, genius. If it wasn't, even better, because that was so fucking good.
Dude, the whole...
Marabo Mulch is becoming a tree, and then eventually does. By the way, he gets referred to not as a redwood, but as a dogwood, because... He's in the doghouse. I still love him, even though he abused me. And I think this is a weird message to send to
I
kids.
thought they made him a dogwood because he was a dog and he wanted to fuck anything that moves.
Oh, wow. That's one way to read it against. Oh, yeah, again, as Miner was she just shooting seeds at him? That's what it looked like.
Yeah, that's stupid. And then she gets the sprinklers to go off by shooting seeds at them.
Tyler, some quotes that I really thought
Thank you. I can't wait.
In the final fight, Mulch refers to RoboCop as, quote, humanoid trash compactor.
Yes, I remember that, yes.
Plants are coming around. This overgrowth is coming around. Big Mulch is there, and all these things are coming out. And RoboCop says, time to mow and blow. And he takes his hand. One hand is a lawnmower. The other hand is a fucking leaf blower.
Like a whole lawnmower.
Well, it was like blades, I think.
Okay. I'm saying, where does he keep this mass on his body that he can just transform into all these different things? Gotta be.
Also, at the end, so we got fucking rollerblades twice in this episode.
I am roller skates. No,
the airboat.
I know they're rollerblades,
skates.
But I'm calling them roller skates.
Rollerblades.
Okay. I know they're inline skates, but they're roller skates. Okay.
Yeah.
Just because that's lame and fucking RoboCop should not have roller skates. No, here's the part about the airboat that killed me was she was like, you can't get there only one way. You got to have a thing, and we don't. And he was like, oh, no problem. And then he turns into an airboat, right?
Yeah.
And then they drive. They get on the water and go there. And at no point do you see how difficult it wouldn't have been with just a fucking boat, like a regular boat. Hey, you got a fucking log that we can straddle and take down the river?
At that point, if RoboCop should have just laid flat and she just could have stood on
it. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? There's only one way. You got to have a special kind of boat that floats. Yeah, most of them do, sweetheart. She was a grade school dropout or whatever, I guess.
Time to mow and blow.
Oh, my God.
But rollerblades twice.
Yeah, good God.
Well, one time, the fact that he just had a fan on his back again.
Yes.
And used the
propelling
rollerblades.
Himself.
And then at the end, all this stuff is getting destroyed, and he needs to get out in a hurry. And he still uses the rollerblades first, and then uses a jetpack. Why not start with the jetpack, RoboCop?
Because you got to build tension somehow.
And then he said he needed tape dispenser and made tape. Remember that? Did you remember? By the way, his big way to stop get Miner back.
Yeah.
Was
didn't they just dunk her in a tank of water?
At the end, yeah. Well, the special suppressant thing that the doctor was using.
Yeah.
But it was like this, it looked like a big piece of carpet almost. And he took it and grabbed it and wrapped her up.
Yes.
And then rolled her down and then goes, tape dispenser, and puts a piece of tape over it.
She was kind of watching.
And then drops her in the tank.
I was kind of watching. Your wife play the game.
Yeah.
And I had it turned way down so I could just watch it. And so I remember looking down at one point and being like, "Why is he playing with sod? Like he's got a big roll of sod. What's that?
Yeah.
And why is it wrapped with?
And then
why is it wrapped with twine? I didn't see the tape
The
dispenser.
show-
I'm sorry about that. It sucks.
it was amazing.
Oh,
It kind of blew my mind how this episode ends. So the episode ends with the villain being like, you're like, hey, you're getting stiffer. Like,
Can we talk about the origin and how there's absolutely no safety oversight at that plant?
So he works at. So
Of course, it's in deregulated Detroit.
His stereotypical
No,
his stereotypical origin is he slips and falls into a vat of something, and it just turns him into this plant thing.
but there are these like
But he
giant
literally-
high walkways
when he-
with like these terrible fucking.
And then this one cord that he trips
one
over,
cord.
and he, I kid you not, just nosedives. Like there's no emotion to that character. He just punk right into the water, like nothing, like a lawn dart. And then it's just like we just have to accept, like, oh yep, that makes sense. Toxic waste.
You know, he
He's
goes
plant
in
man
head
now.
first so perfectly that if there had been swimming judges around or diving judges, there would have
tens.
tens. That was great.
And then,
No splash at all.
and then
You suck.
so his whole thing is he keeps using this suppressant thing to stop him from turning into a tree, essentially. But then he took too long between doses, and RoboCop is like,
I've been there.
I could try and
Taking
save
too
you.
long between doses.
Yeah, it happens. Macro. So then RoboCop is like, hey, we can still try and save you. There's still time. And then it's like, no, it isn't. Because then he just immediately turns into the tree and has that horrifying face on it. And then for
Yeah.
whatever
and they show it
reason,
later.
this girl who we've been with this whole episode being like, I don't know if I should be with him. And RoboCop even being like, you shouldn't be with that fucking guy. He's abusive. He's a villain.
Yeah.
You know.
Classic.
And the show still ends with her
passive-aggressive.
to take care of him as a tree. And I'm like, it's pretty fucked up.
But first she talks about going back to school and being a real alpha commando.
Of course, here's our business card. Shunk.
You think so? We know so. Yeah. The best part about him
It
is
just
that
has
he's
a
a
business
fucking
card.
business card dispenser in his wrist.
Yeah.
Beep. There you go.
I just love how
Maybe I can win a free weeks of sandwiches for me and everybody in the office. Boop.
Do you like how RoboCop is unironically being used as propaganda to children? Unbelievable. It's like that's what makes me laugh so hard about this, right? Because it's
Just drop your business card in for a
because-
chance to win lunch for you and all your work buddies.
so for me. Okay,
That sounds
is
good.
this like? Am I going to like honestly critique this thing in a serious manner? No, it's
No.
a kids show from the '90s, but I know I just want to
Everything was
Here's the
transforming.
but here's the
and-
thing I want to base it on. I
Yeah.
don't think it's terrible. I think
Well,
if I were to, if this was if I'd actually watched this when it came out, because I was a kid at that time, I probably would have liked it, But
yeah, you watch the card like
but being someone who because to me on principle, it's like this is just insane that you took such an adult-oriented franchise
Right.
and trying to market it to children, and it's just not RoboCop. It is so clearly something else, and they thought we've got to get their parents to, stop on it and be like, "Oh, RoboCop,"
yeah.
or something. Because how else is a kid gonna fucking know about? If they have a good parent, they're not gonna know about RoboCop because that's a hard R-rated movie.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny that these things exist because it's such against
Well-
what RoboCop is.
And the other thing too, like I've like when I got older, and there was a way to watch like the G.I. Joe cartoons from when I was like 8, 9, 10 years old, and the Transformers. They had this really cool. It was like season 3 of the Transformers, but they had a lot of the newer toys in the show, and they had this the resurrection of Optimus Prime like 3-part arc in the cartoon, and at the time we were just in like it was the first new Transformers shows that we had seen in like 3 years,
Yeah.
and we're just like, oh my god, this is so awesome. They're recognizing the movie. They're saying, they're talking like it exists, all this other stuff. Because at one point, the cartoon decided to say, we're making the time jump with the movie. So then the whole show, instead of being like the Generation 1, was all like, Cup and all those guys in the future, whatever. And it was out of control, terrible animation. And the thing is, when I finally got a chance to watch those again as an adult, I was like, oh, this will be awesome, right?
Yeah.
Dude, those cartoons suck. They are bad.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing, too.
They're not good.
That's the thing, too. When
I was a kid, they were good.
I hold the 90s Spider-Man cartoon in high regard because I watched it as a kid.
Have you watched it since?
It's not good. No. The Incredible Hulk show from the 90s. Actually kind of fun. But no, because what I like to do is go through and kind of just see what they have for older animation, because it's like, are these some of these that I could get my kid interested in? Like, that are they older, but they still, I think, have a modern enough sensibility, and a lot of them don't.
So I've talked many times on the show about Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Yeah,
okay,
terrible cartoon.
See, you would think that, but that is one of the few cartoons from my childhood that I can watch now and be like, awesome, just awesome. Yes. I am this close to recreating the 7 Little Superheroes episode in Lego minifigures, God damn it, and I will do it.
Oh, man.
I will do it.
Jeez.
I need a chameleon. I need a Shauna, She-Devil.
Jeez. While we're talking about animated...
And an Iceman.
Animated properties. Alpha Command. Again, I feel like they should have just taken a risk and made it its own thing. Because the RoboCop thing really holds it back.
It's not how entertainment works, unfortunately. Instead of somebody bought a property from a guy for like $10,000.
It was a futuristic cop show.
I'll buy it for you I'll buy it from you for $10,000, and then they were like, "Oh, by the way, we have the RoboCop license. Cool. That guy's out. I already bought his shit." So we're just going to turn it into a multi-million-dollar, and I'm sure there was a lawsuit, and I'm sure it got settled out of court, and the guy got his money anyway. Well, but his dream is dead and his idea is crushed.
Wow.
Why aren't we playing more soundboard?
Let's move it on. Let's just because it hurts my feelings, because it's like,
I'll eat your ass.
You keep it up, all right? As long as you pay me.
$1 million, bitch.
That's all I had. No, you pay me to eat your ass. So speaking of animation,
the way he says the B word is just so like
bitch
angry.
You're just like,
yes. Yeah, that's happy.
So yeah, let's wrap it up. I don't know. This is the situation I'm in. I'm enjoying doing this. But
do you want to keep watching episodes of the cartoon? Because it's not that long. They don't take that long.
Because Prime Directives is a commitment.
Right.
Because I think it's like a 4-part miniseries.
And is it like 2 hours each part?
I don't know how long.
It's on Amazon?
Yes.
Have we looked at it on Amazon?
We have, but we haven't. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
We don't know.
Because I can look at it when I get home.
I want to be more on top of it. Because I do want to keep doing it. At some point, we will stop and move on. But I'm enjoying this too much. Because it's
an excuse to talk about the first RoboCop movie.
It really is.
Every week.
It really is. And try and show off our nerd creative. Like, see, we understand RoboCop. We're so smart.
Take a look at my face, dick.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
Maybe we can be friends after all.
Yeah, but speaking of all this animation stuff, soon, I can't say when because we haven't really nailed down a date when we want to do it, but soon, I'm going to do a sideshow with Sideshow Bab. We're going to do a side series with my buddy Luke. Our buddy.
I can't believe you're talking about this on our show.
I
thought you would wait until I left the show.
I have asked you to watch these animated movies.
I thought you would wait until I got up to go to the bathroom from the show to talk about your other show with this other man.
Anyway, it'll be on this feed. It'll be on our YouTube. It's going to be called Drawn to DC, and we're going to be reviewing DC animated movies. We're not ranking them or anything like that.
Breaking my heart live on air.
Oh, my God.
Just keep talking.
Oh, we were going to have you on the show. We were gonna, at some point, because you want to complain about some movies.
Don't you know how needy I am?
You're over here like, hey, man, keep making more content. Let's keep doing other side stuff.
Well, we kind of should.
Well,
and I've
I've
kind of left Legos behind a little bit.
We already
now.
We haven't.
We should say that.
For now.
Well, there's no new Lego sets that I want to buy. I've already bought them all.
Is the show on hiatus?
I'm just saying that come fall when they have
we don't know if
sets for Captain Marvels,
sex or sets?
Sets, Lego sets.
Oh,
who knows?
I was very confused.
Who knows? I might be like, oh shit, there's a Kang. I gotta get it.
Yeah.
It's like a drug.
Legos. I feel like that's a fair comparison.
You just try to snort those fuckers.
It's almost good.
Ow!
It's almost as good as that comparison that you started the show with about that. If you know what, that's called listener retention. If you listen to this whole episode, you'd get that joke.
The ninja.
If you're jumping in now, fuck you.
Fuck you.
If you're only watching the YouTube segments, fuck you.
No, actually, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. We appreciate it.
We're sorry.
But yeah, Drawn to DC is what we're gonna call it. It's gonna be soon. We haven't recorded them yet, but we have our first couple episodes we kind of planned out.
Are we?
I know that we want to do. We're definitely gonna do the Flashpoint Paradox DC animated movie because it's really good, and I'm gonna be. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna.
Are you trying to fill time on our show with news about your other show? Because that's.
I'm just saying that new Flash
hurtful.
movie coming
That's
out.
hurtful.
We're
That you
probably gonna
think
do
we
that.
can't make enough content together.
Crack cocaine.
All right. It's like I don't even know if it's gonna be. It might be a monthly show. It might be bi-weekly. I'm still trying to figure out the
I'm just
schedule.
kidding.
But we don't want to do that.
Yeah. So keep watching for that.
Keep it out on your brain.
Whoa.
Keep it in.
Oh, I think no, leave that thing out.
I'll eat your ass.
Don't put it away.
So moving on.
Moving on.
Next topic.
Off topic.
We're gonna scrap the one topic.
Okay.
We'll just cut it. Well, you know, it's a good vibe episode. I feel like that's gonna bring the vibes down.
Bro.
So speaking of good vibes, let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy. Honestly, Guardians of the Galaxy having one of the best holds since about 2018 for the MCU in terms of box office, which is all good signs. So yeah, what I wanted to talk about was in the second weekend, the movie only dropped 47.6%, which for a Marvel movie, for a normal movie, pretty solid. For a Marvel movie, okay, pretty good. Much better than it has been. And I think there's something to that because Love and Thunder had 67.6% drop last July. Quantumania had a 67.8% drop in February. And that's where we had this other cycle of conversation. Because whenever one of these movies doesn't make $1 billion, it's there's superhero fatigue and all this. And let's talk about it. Because it clearly doesn't exist.
Can we talk about what has been the most successful movie in theaters since theaters have been back? What, Maverick, maybe?
Maverick's got to be up there.
And how long was that in theaters?
No Way Home and Maverick were both pretty good. Both of them broke $1 billion.
Okay, and how long were they in theaters?
I think No Way Home had $2 billion or close to $2 billion.
A month?
Maverick was in theaters for quite a while.
Okay.
Like a couple months.
My question is, you're going to get maybe one or two of those a year, every year, studios. Okay, so stop acting like everyone has to be one of those.
But see, that's
because not every one of those is going to be one of those.
But that's the environment that's been built.
I know, and they haven't changed their shit because of COVID, and it's ridiculous. Theaters are like, we'll just reopen like we used to, and we'll keep that same fucking model. Guess what? You might that opening weekend for any movie, blockbuster or no, any movie, that first weekend, maybe first week, everybody who wants to see it is going to see it.
Yeah.
Now, if there's a lot more people that want to see that, maybe 2 weeks. But after that second week, who the fuck is looking at these things and going, oh, we had a massive drop-off from week 2 to week 3? Yeah, because everybody's seen it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Nobody's going to see these movies 4 and 5 times, not at those prices. I'll wait till it comes out on video again.
Yeah.
Shit. Until it comes out on streaming in a month on Disney Plus.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
I understand a lot as I've gotten older, and it's
allergies.
I'm starting to learn something about this too. Is look, it's gotten even like I think people need to understand that we are still 3 years removed from COVID, and I think COVID was a huge shift in a lot of different things, and we now live in a world where we can get day and date on demand and theater runs. Now that's usually for smaller movies, and we know that HBO Max did what they did, which was probably stupid business wise. But let me finish my point.
Sorry, yeah.
And you're right. I think shit, you can watch Mario now, and that
Dungeons
came out,
and Dragons is on streaming on Paramount. I think
that came out a month ago.
Where do you watch Mario?
You can buy it on Amazon.
Oh, you can buy
rent it or no. Let me finish my thought. And we live in an economy where you're right. That's why this is a big deal. Why Avatar was such a big deal when it made the money it did. Why this Guardians movie is making a big deal, and it's one of the better openings for the MCU in some time. It's because people are being selective, and you're right. The people that are like me and you that have a podcast or listen to review movie podcasts or watch this stuff on YouTube, whatever the case may be. They're going to want to do it that first weekend. You're right, because they don't want to fucking get spoiled. They want to be a part of the conversation.
Right.
And the internet has changed that, and you're right. And we also live in an era where I'm with you. It cost me, and this is what I was talking about. As I'm getting older, I'm like, shit, I really have to make decisions if it's worth it anymore, because when we saw Guardians of the Galaxy, it was like $60 for two people, because it was $30 just for, and I understand.
It was $30 for me.
I understand where we live. It's cheaper than most places.
Right, but it was $30 for me.
$30.
Well, the ticket was. I went to a night show, so the ticket was
by
like
yourself. It was $30.
10.
So take that and then add another.
Well, every time you and I go, we're each like one of us buys the tickets, the other one buys the concessions, and we're both spending about $30.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I need to smuggle. I need to smuggle more candy in. That's what I need to do.
Well,
and if people want to get on their high horse about that, be like, "Bitch, I paid the ticket. I don't need to pay."
Also, again, your stupid ass fucking movie theater model and what Hollywood
it's outdated.
It is so fucking wrong.
Because
dude.
I can get tens and thousands of hours of content on my fucking phone in my pocket
without leaving my house.
I could pull up YouTube. I could pull up any of these fucking streaming apps on my phone. Like, so why?
They're gonna have to start providing blowjobs to get people out to theaters.
Which is again, but this is a good. But this is another thing I want to make in this point, which is why it's such a big deal that Guardians is holding so strong, because word of mouth still matters and good story still matters.
Yes.
And this is a really good movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it's Maverick was a really good movie, and it succeeded because it was so good, and people kept talking about it.
Maverick's
kept
insane,
to go see it.
man. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I've seen it. We talked about it on the show.
Crazy, man. Like those.
I hate that movie. No, it's a good movie.
Those fucking all the jet scenes are just like. Ugh.
Yeah. And then when they fought the evil villain, no particular country, and then completely blacked out mask so you can't see their face.
The color of their skin. It could be Somalia.
Because
it could be the Middle East.
Because we want to release this globally.
Everywhere. No, what I was saying, and everything that you're saying is totally great. But kind of related. You're saying Mario.
This better not be okay. I thought you were gonna do it.
Kind of related. I had this ice cream one time. No, kind of related.
Should I put nuts in my ice cream? That's a pre-show joke. I'm sorry.
Gonna dip nuts in my
Before
ice
we
cream.
went on the air.
But a joke about nuts in the ice cream. What happened?
What?
Okay, so
Look how that's our reset button.
Mario, you were saying you can
you can already get it on.
There
like,
are a lot
you
of
can
movies
rent it already.
there are a lot of movies that go to theaters or you can on demand them at home, right?
Some of them are same
but
day.
What I'm saying, I think it's Paramount because I got on it and I realized, or maybe it's HBO Max, but I got on the app on my Roku TV and one of the first things was Dungeons and Dragons, the movie with Chris Pine.
Yeah.
And that's not like on demand. That's because I have a subscription to whatever. I can watch that now.
It's on Paramount?
I don't remember which one, but it was
Peacock,
like, really?
maybe?
Must be.
Peacock.
It's got to be
Paramount,
Peacock.
I think.
It's got to be. It's one of the two. It's not Max.
Wait, but who owns? Because if it's Universal, then it's Peacock.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Universal.
Either
way, it's like that's cool because I want to watch that movie. I mean,
yeah, it looks good. I want to see it.
But that's way different than on demand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're still paying like $15 to.
Right. You're still, but
it's Paramount Plus.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, because I was going on there to watch something stupid while I ate my lunch.
Shit, I might watch that tomorrow.
That's a good movie.
Have you seen it?
No, but I want
It
to.
looks like a good movie. Looks funny.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
I
I want to see it. I'll watch it tomorrow.
I have a friend that does a lot of D&D stuff. I've been meaning to do it. I just never could with schedules. But he's I think he's the DM. I think he's run campaigns.
We have a mutual friend who's a DM.
Oh yeah, your brother? Wow.
No, our mutual friend.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Oh yes, our pimp. Because
You know, if you do a certain...
Well, if you're doing a
I'm
blowjob
glad we're not-
gesture.
Hey, whoa, what? What was it? I wasn't doing it. No, but the funny thing is, we're not on video. But
we
when
are.
when you do a gesture, just a small tweak to that gesture is very different. Like, you know, like this.
Yeah,
and this.
Yes, they know because they're looking at you right now.
Really?
Yeah, the government, the drones.
Those sons of bitches
Anyway,
got nano.
Anyway, he's said it was good. So I'm like, hey, you know, somebody that actually plays it a lot and is into it says it's good, then it's probably going to be really good. So I'm interested. I'm fucking stoked. I didn't know this. I've been wanting to see
That's
that
what I
movie.
was saying. Is like, holy shit, that's already out. Like, I want to see
well,
that.
yeah, that's what I mean. And I wouldn't.
I forgot it was.
I
in the
wouldn't be
theaters.
surprised in the next few weeks we eventually do see Mario on Peacock
Probably, yeah.
or something. And that's the world we live in. And but see, that is what I think could be smart is if we think about what movies are gonna have legs. Now Mario made just so much money in that month of April because it's a big family. Like family movies are gonna make money.
Yeah.
Not all of them are going to be like huge like Super Mario, but I mean it's the fucking Mario Brothers movie, dude. That's one of the most recognizable brands in the world.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me, and especially because it's always been at a young audience, it makes a lot of sense to me. And after only a month of its theatrical run, you can get it on demand.
It
makes so much sense.
You haven't experienced this yet because your child can't talk, but wait until your child starts wanting to go, like everybody's seeing it, everybody has one, all that stuff, dude. If you really want to be successful in this country, make something that your child, that everybody's child cannot live without, and you will make $1 billion.
Always go after the children.
$1 billion.
Always go after the toys. Oh, toys,
cartoons.
cartoons.
The person who made up Shopkins, these little tiny fucking things that are designed to be lost.
Yeah.
They are designed to get. Oh, what happened? Oh, I got to buy a new set.
That's why those Legos are so small, so you can lose them.
No.
I like how you're
How dare you?
I like you're like I want to take a break
Lego
from Legos.
is good.
But you will still defend their
Lego
honor.
is good. Shopkins are dumb.
To wrap it up, I'm happy that, especially in this, like we just said, like this day and age, to see a good movie actually still get word of mouth and still have legs and.
Yeah.
It also,
but again, you guys got to change your model at some point.
It's true. Look, I think two things can be right at the same time. I think that there is still superhero fatigue, and there is people are just being selective, and so I think that there are people that are. A lot of people dropped out after Endgame, and that makes sense. That are just like, you know what, I don't really I don't want to be invested and you're right. That's just where this model doesn't work or the theater model doesn't work. Like. You're asking people to commit a lot of time to these properties, especially at a time now when you have more entertainment than you ever had at your fingertips, like we just talked about.
Yeah.
So I think both can be true. I think superhero fatigue is real, but I also think that really good stories and really good movies will still have a place in the theater.
Yeah.
But it's just it is unfortunate because it's a double-edged sword because it's. One, we live in a world where anybody can have a voice, anybody could put a movie out, and a very small movie could get on something like Amazon or get on some of these streaming services, and that's great. But that also means they don't get a box office because they're not going to make any money in the theater because people, when they go to the theater, they only want to see the 20th Fast and the Furious movie and the 15th Avengers movie.
As somebody, okay,
you know what I mean?
I don't give a shit about the money. Now, the money's going to be nice, but you know where I'm going to get that money is by exposure.
And they might get a bigger
so
project.
To me, yeah, exactly. Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if I don't get anything from Amazon for it because it's on there and anybody can watch it.
A creative person wants people to see their art, and so whatever it is, they're gonna try to get it out. I mean, why else do people, upload things to YouTube?
And we live in a society where
they could just put things out for free.
We live in a society where a guy comes up with a great idea for this futuristic cop and sells it to somebody, and they go, you know what? We got this RoboCop license. Let's just make it RoboCop. So there's that too. I mean, familiarity does.
What I paid for.
But familiarity does count for a lot.
Brilliant.
Like you were saying, Mario's a fucking worldwide brand. So yes, there are kids movies that come out of nowhere and they're like, wow, that's crazy.
Well,
but a Mario movie, everybody knows
as
Mario.
as a parent, I'm going to feel this way when he gets, like he says, when he can walk and talk and, has a certain taste for things and all that, and going to movies or going out places. I am fully aware of that situation, and there are movies that you're going to want to take your kids to because sometimes you're like, I just want this kid to stop yelling at me for 2 hours. I love him. I love him, but just stare at the screen for 2 hours, please. Like, that's just what it is sometimes. And I'm not saying all animation and stuff like that is for kids and all those things. I'm just saying, properties are, we're seeing. I love animation. I'm defending it. I don't know how I jumped on animation.
All right, so
you know why I'm thinking about animation? Because I'm thinking about the Spider-Verse. That's right. Across the Spider-Verse. That's coming out soon. I'm pretty stoked about that. June 2nd.
Oh, man, it's already 9 o'clock. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah.
We're wrapping it up after this.
We still got
one more segment. But anyway,
No.
I wanted to talk about this because
I could go till 10. I just didn't realize, holy shit, it's 9. Like, see, if it's like an
it's
hour
a good
later.
time and you're having
if
fun.
it's an hour later than I think it is at work, that's awesome. If it's an hour,
I'm
because
sorry, did you we want to be somewhere else? You don't want to be here with me?
No,
doing
what
this
I
show?
mean-
No,
what I
I know
mean-
what you mean.
is when time flies when you're having something fun, you're like, holy shit. But when time flies when you're doing something shitty like work, you're like, sweet.
So on my break today, I decided I heard about this little gimmick called the Spider-Verse Whopper.
So what is in the Spider-Verse
The
Whopper?
Spider-Verse Whopper is just a Whopper,
Okay.
but
It has spiders in it.
I was hoping it would taste like a spider, a little bit crunchier. But it is designed to look like the Miles Morales Spider-Man costume a little bit. So the sesame seeds are black, and the buns are red. And how it's red is not by food coloring; it's by beets. They
Really?
use and so you get like a little beet flavor on your bun. It makes the bun a little bit softer. Actually, kind of makes it better, if I'm being honest. It's not bad.
Okay.
Believe it or
All
not.
right, ladies and gentlemen. Big deal.
I forgot it was
today.
connected. This is my.
Just came out.
I'll give the full review on our
Spider-Verse
YouTube.
Whopper.
Let me see it.
Thank you, Larry.
It's my buddy in the background.
So I've been told this is beet juice. Is why this is red. It's not coloring. It's beet juice.
Well, you
So-
know why that is. Why they did beet juice instead of coloring.
Why?
Well, when you're finished playing whatever.
I just wanted to get you the. Here we go. Here's the verdict.
It tastes like a Whopper. the beets.
Wow. That's
no,
it.
the beets are make the buns softer.
Yeah, I said that.
No, you can taste the beets. You can.
Ugh. Why? I don't want to eat something with
everything else
beets.
is just a Whopper. But
Are you still? Come on. Save it for the TikTok.
Yeah, the rest is going
Don't give it all away.
on our YouTube and our TikTok and, and all of our stuff.
So back in the day, they had a Halloween Whopper, and they made or it was an A1 Whopper or something. They had a bunch
it was a black bun.
but they've done like several different promotions where the bun was black. One was a Halloween Whopper, one was an A1 steak sauce, another one was like something else. But the problem is that they used food coloring. And what really stupid people don't understand about digestion is that if you eat something that is not naturally colored, a lot of it, your shit turns green.
Yeah.
That's why every October my poop is green. Why? Because I'm eating blueberry every fucking day.
Oh,
now, I
man.
know that's TMI, but a lot of stupid people were like, I'm getting sick.
I was hoping.
Sorry, I was turning it off. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was trying
right
to.
in the middle of my
I'm sorry. I was trying to pull up the soundboard for you. So I was gonna be like,
Brilliant!
all these stupid people were like, I'm getting sick. It couldn't be that stupid fucking food that I ate that had like this massive amounts of food coloring, which are completely safe for my digestive tract.
you looked at him and you said,
I'll drink your blood.
No, I looked at him and I said, I get what I pay for.
I'll eat your ass.
I get what I pay. Come on.
I got what I paid for. What?
No, but I did have those. I've had those,
Yeah.
and I'm well aware. Like I said, I've been a blueberry. We had a debate about how much more committed to the fucking Halloween cereals
We've already
I am.
had that on the pod.
Yes, but because of that,
fucking eating them in March. That's how much I love them.
point of order.
Oh, really? Is that a new thing? They sound like a cowbell. That was my water bottle.
I'm like, you shut the fuck up and let me finish.
where's my button to turn you off? I'm gonna mute you back. Why does it sound like that?
No, but so I'm well aware of the effect that food coloring has on your digestive system.
Hey, I don't like.
But that's why they're using beets now. And now I don't want to eat a beet flavored Whopper.
It's not overbearing. It's fine.
I don't even ever want to know what beets taste like again.
You know what? I didn't eat that burger for the show. I didn't even eat it for me. I ate it for Miles. For Miles Morales. Because I'm going to support that movie. And I'm going to support his Whopper. Because that's Miles' Whopper, and you can't take it away.
So what are we talking
I'm
about?
also pissed because I need to try. I didn't think I'd have time to eat it because it was hot out today. But there's also the Spider-Verse Sundae that they're also doing. So I got to try that too.
What's all in that?
Ice cream. You had to know I was going to do that. You had to know. No, but yeah, I wanted to talk about fast food gimmicks a little bit because the first thing I thought of when I was taking the bite, I thought about that Halloween Whopper, but I really thought of was like how, again, we were talking about you got to market this stuff with the toys. And this is why the right keep saying, look out for your kids. Because they know that, kids are impressionable, right? And they know that
you fuckers built the system that requires us to fucking get them to want to buy shit so that we can make money.
That's what I mean.
Sorry, that's what you wanted.
Hey, look, and that's another thing too.
And no, we're not.
A couple of things.
Grooming.
No, they're not manipulating your kids. But what I'm saying is,
except for Catholic priests.
That's how that conspiracy works. Is because
I want to cut that out.
That's how the conspiracy works. Is it's lies baked inside of truth. There's a truth. You're always marketing to kids.
Yes.
That's where you go, And so then I think about all the times that there was fast food gimmicks too, because like I laugh at the Spider-Verse Whopper, but this isn't the first time this has been done. I saw I wasn't around for this, but I saw things. The fry, the McDonald's, their bags were just like when Batman '89 was coming out. The fry holder was just black with the logo on it, and wasn't the paper like that? I can't remember, but I think the bag looked like that. But then I remembered the fucking Batman Forever glasses.
Okay.
Did you ever see these? Because I have them upstairs. Because here's what's funny.
Yeah, I've seen them in your thing.
I got those as a kid, lost them, and then my mom found them randomly at like a yard sale forever ago. So now I have them again. Those things are actually pretty valuable. But no, like things like that. When Lord of the Rings came out, they had this like grail looking glass.
Grail!
I'd say a chalice. It was like a chalice, and it had the rings on it. And then it. This is what's here's what's so stupid about it. It had a battery pack underneath because you could press a button and it would light up. And that was a novelty thing.
So
I've
had toys all over the. I've had toys from movies and fast foods since forever. Sometimes I still will. I will go in like when they had the Guardians of the Galaxy recently at McDonald's.
Oh, they got the toys?
They have little toys of one of each, depending on what the toys are.
That's what I hated because that was a mystery box every time.
A lot of them aren't anymore, and they're not blind bags for the employees. They can see what they are. So I'll ask, like, are they blind or not? And if they go, no, which one do you have? And they said they only had Drax, so I said, never mind.
Oh.
I wanted Adam Warlock.
I figured you'd go for Rocket. Anyway. Pregnant pause.
Well, because I'm trying to remember. You keep saying something, and I have a point that I want to make about. So the Simpsons movie when that came out.
Yes.
I lived in Denver where there were 2 Quickie Marts. They made 7-Elevens into Quickie Marts.
Oh, for that movie?
Yes.
Oh shit.
They made like 6 or 7 of them across the country in like New York, LA, Chicago, and Denver was one of them. And we had one, I think, in Denver and in Aurora. But I went to the one in Denver, and it was set up, and you could buy Krusty O's, you could buy Duff Beer, you could buy. They had a bunch of products that you could buy, and they like remodeled kind of as best they could without spending too much money. But that to me is like the best. That was the best movie tie-in. To me, it was just like, wow, you're gonna change your whole thing into a Quickie Mart for this fucking movie. It was great.
You know what I think about a lot, and it still to this day haunts me, and I could probably go online and find it. Probably even a better one. But as a kid, I never got this toy. It was when Men in Black came out. Mm. And I was so mad because I wanted a fucking neuralizer, and I never got the neuralizer. It's like, oh, you can get a fucking sunglasses or an alien toy or whatever. I'm like, no, give me the fucking neuralizer. It's the coolest thing to have. Because in my kid brain, maybe I did think some way I could blink my mom's memory or my dad's memory. I don't know. I thought it'd be cool to have.
Taco Bell.
Oh,
I
God.
think it was Taco Bell.
And I'm sure I
but
could
when
find
Back
one.
to the Future Part 2 came out, Taco Bell sold with their whatever, they sold like 3 different pairs of futuristic sunglasses. And they were basically like just really stupid. But I bought 3 pairs. I went ape shit for merchandise the summer that Back to the Future Part 2 came out. I fucking thought the hoverboard was going to be a real thing. Like I thought it was a couple years away.
Did you ever see they
love
actually
that movie.
sold those shoes?
It's my least favorite one now.
recently, by the way.
What?
Did you know they sold those Nike shoes for a
They've
while?
made prototypes and they're really expensive.
Oh yeah, they're very like there's a handful of people. But you hate that? You don't like that one as much?
My favorite Back to the Future is in order.
Number 1.
3, 1,
What?
and 2.
Terrible.
My favorite one of all time is 3 because it's the end and it's the one most unlike the other 2.
I disagree.
The first 2 are basically the same movie except for in different timelines. The third one is in the Wild West, man.
It's Back to the Future, but in reverse. Like he's going like further into the future.
Shut up.
But he's already been in the future.
Shut up.
So like the name is even more clever the second time around. Third time it's stupid.
Also, you can't tell me you don't every time you see that flying fucking locomotive, you're like, yeah.
No, I think it's stupid.
You're stupid.
I think it's stupid and hokey. I hate you. Not it, you.
No, but those are some interesting movie tie-ins and
if I'm
whatnot.
being totally honest, I will say this. It was look. I tell you, I have my opinions on it. I have my opinion.
Taco Bell also had a Demolition Man
Of course they did.
promo. I can't remember what it was, but I think.
Do you
they had
remember
toys
the
or something.
commercials where they had the dog and it was when Godzilla 1998 was coming out?
Oh God.
I'm going to need a bigger box or something like that. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, they had that movie. I remember when that movie came out that summer. It was like, dude, we're going to see Godzilla, right? And then this was us going into the movie. Oh man, this was us coming out. What the fuck just happened?
I used to have a Godzilla pen
That movie is still terrible.
that looked like that Godzilla. Believe it.
Ugh, that such a poor design.
But I liked it being female because then she had little baby Godzillas. You know?
They just did it wrong.
that
the
movie's
whole,
terrible.
The
We
whole
don't need to
movie,
we don't need to talk about that.
Godzilla is the villain, and it's just like, you pieces of shit.
But that's something where I feel like I remember the marketing for that movie more than the actual movie itself.
Well, it was a
'Cause that was
it was a
everywhere.
yeah. The marketing was huge. That studio was like, this is going to be our tent
98. That
This is
was
gonna
like
be our tent
That
pole.
was like
and it just was miserably failed.
because I remember when that came out. That was a big deal. Even as a kid, I
it was the
realized how
year
big it was.
after Jurassic Park, or a couple years after Jurassic Park. So they were thinking this is the next Jurassic Park,
Yeah,
and it was like, no, it's not. So what's next on the off panel off? Blah.
I quit.
Fuck you.
That's what's next.
All right. Well, I'll
But
see
we'll
you
say
next
this.
week on the show.
I will say this. I have my complaints about capitalism, and I still hate it. I think it's a terrible system. But at the end of the day, I am a consumer sometimes.
Yeah,
and
oh
I'm
boy.
a sucker for gimmicks. And
Do you think we'd have a lot of Lego sets without capitalism? No.
I want to just.
Can you send me that? I changed phones. I don't have it on my phone
I
anymore.
don't care what you want.
Can you send it to me?
No. 'Cause that's another thing I got to do for you. What's the book this week, Tyler?
We have Animal Castle, Volume 2, Number 1 by writer Xavier Dorison, artist Felix Delep, and also colors. On the farm, all animals were equal. In the castle, some are more equal than others, is what it says at the top. Ablaze is the comic company.
It gives me a lot of Animal Farm vibes. I think that was the intention.
Yes, right?
I think it's pretty deliberate that I think that's why they went the
Yeah,
route
so-
they did.
The art is incredible, I think. It's
very,
really
very good.
well done and very
Yes.
like I'm a big fan of like really distinct line work.
It looks like a Disney, like you said. It looked like a
does.
Disney movie
It
earlier.
fucking totally
before we
does.
started
Yeah.
recording.
Now, my thing is that I start off, and it's really confusing because it starts off with it says previously.
Yeah, we jumped into a volume 2. That's the problem.
Right. And it says previously, which is fine. I like that it gives me an idea of what
yeah, I mean, I was
But
still...
then it jumps into a flashback, which I didn't get. So that kind of turned me off of it a little bit.
But
it looks like a kid's comic book, but the subject matter is far from child friendly.
And
it is very along the veins of Animal Farm, like that type of like heavy-handed political.
Yes. And that's intent, and I think it makes it better. I think it's an interesting story, but I think some of my hang-ups with it are I gotta stop moving my legs. My hang-ups is that I heard a noise.
What is that? Hang on.
That was me.
Okay.
Sometimes when I get all excited to talk about comics, then my legs get antsy. I don't know why I said
My
like that.
legs get angsty.
My legs get angsty.
Why? We're just really effeminate Southern guys.
I just think it was a little heavy-handed at first. I thought it was a little heavy-handed at first, and then the more I read it, I was like, "Oh, okay, I kind of see what they were doing here."
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's well written.
The flashback starts
Yes.
with Silvio, this bull, that's carrying some things, and he's stuck in the mud, and he's like, "I can't carry anything anymore."
Yes.
And then this dog that is like
This asshole.
my dog. It's a dog that is like ordering him around and says, "Well, if you can't do it, then somebody else in the farm has to pick up the castle needs to pick up the slack."
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be more work on them, and everybody contributes, and da-da-da. And he's like, I cannot physically move. He's like, well, we'll deal with your mom then. And he's like, no. So then they kill his mom, essentially, because he goes back and she's not in there. And then we jump to the present. And we jump to...
Where Silvio's the guy who's...
Silvio is the president now, and he's like this dictatorial leader. And apparently they live with humans, but then humans left the animal castle, so now it's all the animals.
They've taken over the castle. What I understood.
Yeah. So it's kind of a weird story.
One thing that I do like about the art more than anything, whenever you see animation or cartoons with anthropomorphized animals or anything, there's a tendency to have some artistic license with those animal physiologies to make them more anthropomorphic, to give them fingers or thumbs, what have you. One thing I really enjoyed about this is that nobody has hands.
Yeah, they all walk.
The bull walks on four.
They walk the way they're supposed to.
You know what I mean? Like all of the physiology, the animal physiology is like they're basically like if he could talk all of a sudden. If you're
but that's the thing. That's what's so smart is because it grounds the story.
Yes.
Because then it disarms you and lets you understand like, okay, so we're doing a perspective of a story that would be happening without the presence of humans. It's not this fantastical magical world. It's just animals that are living together. It's
not like the humans walk away and they all dress up in clothes and drive cars and shit.
And it's
because they don't have thumbs.
It sounds fantastical that these animals are talking to each other, but I'm like, no. This is what animals do all the time. It's just nonverbal, and like this is just
Have you ever heard of Asterix? It's that French barbarian dude. It's a foreign comic, right?
Not.
Oh,
heard of that.
Wow. Okay.
Why are you so offended?
I'm not offended.
No, shocked. I mean,
it's a pop culture thing. Almost everybody's heard of Asterix. You've never heard of?
Well, yeah, I've used them. You had to know. I'm a dad now. Those are the jokes I make.
Shut the fuck up. Anyway, so
I'm not listening to this dog
the
shit.
reason why
Dirk shit. Well, now
the reason why you've never heard of this guy, you've never seen this guy ever. This French cartoon, Asterix?
No.
Wow. Okay, I guess it's not a big pop culture as I thought. Anyway,
maybe I'm just sheltered.
When you read those books, the English translated books over here in the States, there's a certain feeling to them, And it's what I have with this. This is definitely made by Europeans. This was not a comic made by Americans. I can guarantee you, and it wouldn't surprise me one bit if they were Spaniards. And here's why. Because this is very clearly anti-communism, and so is Spain.
Yeah.
So,
Because
I
they
just made a whole bunch of judgments on our Mayhem segment. Oh, dang it. Anyway. What'd you say about Spain?
Well, not all Spaniards are anti-communist now. Hold on.
No, but
I don't know why like geopolitical conversation
but the reason
is happening
why,
by two
the
rednecks.
reason why I'm talking about it, yeah, right. Listen, all I gotta know is if Spanish Civil War was fought over this type of thing. You know what I mean? You're wrong. You're dead wrong.
It is weird because
but you can tell it's translated into English. You know what I mean? Like the word balloons too. It's not the original. I mean, it's been translated. I feel like.
Yeah. But then what is the message? Because it's saying that I
didn't read the whole thing.
Wow. All right.
I just read the first part.
I read the back flap.
I read the previously and the back flap. No, but this first part is very anti-communism. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, because it's like
this is what
somebody
conservatives
else
think is communism.
Yeah.
Well, that's what communists made communism in fucking Russia and shit and China and whatnot. Oh well, there goes our market in China. Shit.
Oh man, like our big market in China that we had.
I totally forgot not to swear. Dang it.
Oh fudge! You thought I was gonna say it.
Well, that's our.
Wait, can does this count? Oh, it doesn't play.
That's okay. So
it was gonna be Bad Mother Crusher
again. In terms of like overall quality of the book, I give it an A because the writing is good, the art is great. Again, the subject matter is pretty heavy, but it's not something I would probably keep reading, mainly because I have a problem when I open a book and pages look like this. Really tiny panels filled with word balloons. Now, sometimes I'm up for exposition, but not all the time. I need to have some action.
Well, it's a visual medium, so you want a little bit more.
There are times when you open, you turn the page and you see the next two pages are like, 9 panel pages each. And
that's probably what turned people off to watch me.
Each
it's the same layout.
Each panel is full of like 3/4 full of a word balloon. And you're like, oh, I got to read through all this shit to understand what's going on.
Let me just did it again.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is that I give it an A for the quality of the book and everything. Like it's you're not going to be disappointed trying it out.
Read volume 1 first, though.
I think so too. And the subject matter and everything is just not my cup of tea. But it is a quality book.
I agree. Everything you just said.
Mm.
It was that was just
Brilliant!
Wow. Thanks. You're gonna play the sound right?
Alrighty, yeah, play it out, Tyler. I'm Wolfman Jack. All right. Sometimes I just want to do that out of the Sounders, Sometimes you gotta indulge it. Tyler, it's time.
For
That freaks me out. I don't like it. Turn it off.
Turn the damn thing off.
Tyler, do you have anything this week?
Do you want
I'll go first, you bastard. I don't know why I'm so mean.
I usually go first, actually. Why don't you go first?
Yeah. What? That's what I thought. I want to talk about Wasteland Batman. Now, what's Wasteland Batman? Well, it's not
Sounds
something...
like a video game.
It's not something you can read in a comic book, not something you can watch on your TV, but you can play it on your game thing. Whether it be Xbox or PlayStation, maybe even PC. No, what the fuck? I've been Yeah, I've been playing as people that listen to the show or watch, hanging on YouTube. I recently did a New Vegas episode for Fallout. I started playing Fallout 4 with mods now. Usually that's just been something that's been on the PC games, but Fallout 4 is one that they actually brought mods to the console, which is pretty cool because I've never been a PC guy.
Okay.
So it's cool to have it on my console.
That's cool.
So I started playing last night. And just because I'm nerdy like this, I'm like, what kind of superhero like armor or costumes do people mod into the game? And I found the Nightmare Batman costume that had been in there forever. So I put that on, and it looks awesome because you're walking around as Batfleck.
Did you know that I have a minifigure
of the
that?
Nightmare Batman?
I got it from...
Well, it's a cool look. And
it was worth the $14 for the set.
It looks even cooler when I'm actually walking around a post-apocalyptic world. And... so I was playing through it a little bit, and it was just funny to me because it is silly because I never play. You could play in first person or third person, but I only played in third person because I'm like, if I'm gonna wear the Batman costume, I'm gonna look at it,
Yeah.
And then I made a TikTok video because I did this a couple clips because I'm like, this is just funny because I have a bunch of different mods, and one of them is like improved the game, like it's a patch like you would get, but it's called the unofficial patch, and I didn't think about this, but like the blood effects and the stuff is better.
Yeah.
And so like I posted this video and I put the Batman dun 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 underneath on the TikTok, and I posted it. I posted it to Reddit, and one guy was like, "This is awesome. How did you do that?" I'm like, "The soundtrack, everything's just good editing." I was like, "Oh, thanks." And then a couple other people were like, "Well, what did you use, this mod or this mod? What kind of mod did you use?" And I'm like, I just started doing this shit.
I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about. Well, then sometimes when you go on Reddit, you get some of these communities. They're very specific about things you can post and say. And
I don't think I would. I don't want to do Reddit because I just know I'd get lost.
It's a rabbit hole because there's a subreddit for everything. But the long way of putting this, I just found this is why people mod these games like Fallout, or they mod different games, PC games, because it is an interesting way you can play the game and do it differently. Because now I'm playing as Batman. So whenever there's a dialogue option, I'm answering as Bruce Wayne. I'm not answering as me. I'm role-playing it, right? So I even made a guy that was like, well, how would I think Bruce Wayne would look? And so it's even funnier in this game. You have a robot butler at the beginning. And he refers to you by your name, whatever name he picks. He'll even do fuckface and stuff like that. It's great. But he goes, Mr. Wayne. And it just makes me laugh every time because it's like, I'm such a fucking douche that I made a Wasteland Batman.
You are a douche.
And you better believe I'm going to do a video and put it up on our YouTube. People are going to watch me play it, maybe. If they're into it. I'll give it to them. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Tyler, what's in your long box?
My long box this week is White House Plumbers, which is a show on
Why are you watching a show about dudes who just clean out toilets?
HBO Max. It's been out. The third episode came out last night, and it's Woody Harrelson and Justin Theroux and Ike Bettinger. Oh crap! What is his name? Ike Barinholtz. Domhnall Gleeson is in it.
That was beautiful, by the way. We nailed it.
Thanks.
We
Mhm.
we nailed it. Good job. Ike Barinholtz, I'm proud of this.
Domhnall Gleeson is in it. Toby Huss.
Oh, the dude from Star Wars.
Dude, he's a chameleon, man. There are times
he's good.
There are times when I see him in a movie and I'm like, is that Domhnall? And I have to watch the credits and be like, fucking sure was, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I
I
mean, you
fucking
can
love
recognize
Peter
him?
Rabbit.
Yeah.
Damn it! I was just joking. I had never seen that movie.
Me neither. Ex Machina, he's really good in. That's probably one of my favorites.
I thought I could get you again, but you outsmarted me there. You're smarter than the average bear, Tyler.
Thanks, buddy.
Anyway,
or the average
The
rabbit.
White House plumbers.
So back in 1972, these idiots broke into the DNC at the Watergate Hotel. It's
the president does it. It's not illegal.
Spoiler alerts. The president ended up having
Spoiler
to
alert
resign.
to history.
Point is that not a lot of people know this, but the guys who were in charge of that were like the most inept idiots ever to have like CIA credentials. Okay,
That's something you figure out as you get older. Everybody in politics is a fucking idiot.
oh my God, these guys are. And here's the best part about the show is that Woody and Justin play them. They play E. Howard Hunt and G. Gordon Liddy respectively. They play them with no self-awareness. They both are going through their lives and they're morons. They're idiots. They're not going anywhere. They fuck everything up. Everything they try to do, their ideas are bad. They're just terrible. But in their minds, they are on the cusp of greatness. And it's just great watching these two guys because the best part is that the best shows and movies nowadays, the smartest ones to me, especially like Reboot, that came out on Hulu this
Thanks,
past.
Hulu, you canceled it.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Really?
That's old news, man.
Fuck you guys. Anyway,
They're gonna say fuck me. I was like, I don't shoot the messenger.
but the best movies and TV shows nowadays are the ones that can take another story that has nothing to do with our times now
and make it relate
and make it relevant and make it like a mirror up to our time. And this show does that by showing. We do the Grift Report every week because we're trying to take down assholes like this.
Not every week, but yes.
Right, but we do it because we're sick of these people ruining the country with this rhetoric, and all they're doing, they're not doing it for patriotism like they say. They're not doing it to quote unquote save the country. They're doing it for money and attention. And that's wrong.
And they don't like people living a different lifestyle.
Yes, and these two guys are absolutely fucking stand-ins for fucking Ryan Cannell and Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson and these fuckfaces who go on and get all boisterous and shit about their whatever, and really inside they're fucking scared little shits. And why? Because they know they're fucking
world's
bad.
leaving them behind.
No, they know they're shit. And they can't admit it to themselves.
Do you notice most conservative talking heads are failed actors or failed writers?
They're failed something.
Failed producers. No, seriously. And most of them are from Hollywood.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why they went conservative.
Yes, because
the liberal
there's
agenda
a
was
market.
against them.
Right. Yeah, no, it's not that you're a fucking terrible actor or that your ideas for movies are stupid.
Maybe your scripts just suck. And it happens.
Maybe the fact that every script you turned in had a very racist, like stereotypical black character in them.
Oh yeah, well he.
Is this from that one? Is this from Tucker Carlson? Well, I wonder when the Huggy Bear guy is going to show up.
Hold on, honey, I gotta pull up Twitter. I gotta watch Tucker Carlson.
How did I not know he got fired?
He's on Twitter now.
And let me just say this.
Yeah.
What you fire this guy, and you still don't have the fucking balls to say why. Fuck you, Fox News. Just fucking eat shit.
How dare
Anybody
you?
who watches you is a fucking moron, and I'm tired of you. And you can't even, he's gone. You can't even have the balls to be like, well, we were tired of his misogynistic bullshit and his racism.
No, because they were okay with that.
Because they are okay with it.
Yeah.
So what was it really? Oh, I know what it was. He fucked Rupert Murdoch's wife, didn't he?
Probably.
That's the only thing. Consensually, of course.
It's called
Actually,
that's
Tucker
called an
Carlson.
affair.
Who knows, man?
Speaking of which, that's a show. I think I think it's just called The Affair. I don't know. Elizabeth Olsen's in it. So
Why do I want to watch TV shows and movies? Yeah, there's a new Fatal Attraction on Paramount. Why do I want to watch stuff about people cheating on other people when I've been cheated on? That doesn't feel good. I don't want to watch a fucking show.
I'm just saying, that's a show that exists.
Fuck you.
Why are you so mad at me?
I'm not mad at you.
I said, hey.
Mad at the world. Mad
Tyler's
at the
mad
world.
at me.
Mad
Every
at the
time
world.
I look
I'm not mad at you.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Anything else? So since I promoted my stuff, do you promote your stuff?
New single out June 10th.
Fuck you. Turn it off.
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.